Good morning children, this is my new video on addition of decimals, and in this video we'll be doing some statement sums. So shall we begin? So children, the first question that I've taken here is from exercise 8.5 and it's question number 4. So let me read the question for you. It says Narseen bought 3 meters and 20 centimeter cloth for her shirt and 2 meters 5 centimeter cloth for her trouser. Find the total length of the cloth bought by her. So the first thing we have to understand looking at the question is and decide whether we have to add in this question or subtract in this question or multiply or divide. So looking at it, I know, let's say this is so much. So first thing is that I will be reading the question without actually getting bothered with the measurement which is given. So I'm going to read it again. It will say Narseen bought so much cloth for her shirt. So I've drawn so much cloth here. Okay, and so much cloth for her trouser. So now so much of cloth she has bought for her trouser. You see, if you read it like this, the question becomes very easy. Okay, so find the total cloth of the bought by her. So what will you do looking at it? So you have to find the total cloth means now you will be clearly adding these two and then finding that what is the total, right? So just by reading the question without these numbers which are there, we can quickly decide in our mind whether we have to add or subtract or multiply or divide. So this is one trick that I'm giving you. Okay, so now let me just erase this, whatever is there on the screen, and then we'll move to the second part of it that you should know while solving the question is that looking at the question. So when we say Narseen bought 3 meters and 20 centimeter cloth, and so that means what we have to do is we have to first convert these dimensions into decimals. So shall we begin and let's see how we are going to solve this. Alright children, the first thing that we have to do is we have to write the statements looking at the question. So I've written the statements here. Cloth bought for shirt 3 meters and 20 centimeter. Cloth bought for trousers 2 meters 5 centimeter. Total length of the cloth bought. Now for the total length we have to add these two, so we will be doing that. And finally you will be writing the final answer, the total length of the length of cloth bought by Narseen is. So like this you write your statement sums, and once you know how to write your statements, now I can proceed and I can teach you how to solve this question. So the first thing we will be doing is we will be converting these can you see that here the dimensions are given. So there are two parts of it. One is a number here. So let me just change the color and show you. So there is a number and there is a unit after that. So we can see a number and a unit here. So this is a unit and this is a number, and again here this is a number and this is a unit, right? So these help us. So we have to write the number and we have to convert whatever is the unit into the decimal according and write the values there. So let me just teach you how to do that. So clearly we can see that this is a meter is a greater unit and the centimeter is a smaller unit. So we can clearly see that greater unit. So the greater unit number, that is 3 over here, will come on the left hand side of the decimal. It will become the whole number. So that will be 3 here. So when I write here, so let me change the marker color because this is not showing it clearly. So I will write here clearly. So this will become, as you can see, 3.20. So once you write this, you also have to write the unit. So you will be writing the greater unit here. So after that, I have to convert 2 meter and 5 centimeter. So what will I do? I will do the same thing, that my greater unit number will become the whole number. So I'll write 2 and after that I will write point. But there is one more thing that I want to teach you here is that every time you have to first understand how many decimal places will be there in after the decimal. So that a child should know, and that comes according to the relation. Now what is the relation between a meter and a centimeter? We know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. So now my question to you is that again, you know, I always keep giving you shortcuts. So then how many zeros are there? Clearly there are 2 zeros in the relation. So if there are 2 zeros in the relation, so there will be 2 decimal places. If there are 3 zeros in the relation, then there will be 3 decimal places after the decimal. So since I have written here 2 So let me change my marker and the color and make this 2 look a little better. So this is my 2 and this is my decimal here, and now I have to write 5 here, but before writing 5 I have to leave space for 2 decimal places. Then from the right I will write there 5 because I have just 5. What will I do of this now? I will be writing here 0, 5. So my now the decimal number is or the cloth bought for the trouser is 2.05 meter. So children, after this, once you have written or converted this cloth into decimals, then you will be writing it and make it and will write it vertically, and then you will try to add. So I will write 3.20 as it is, and in the end I will write meters. And then remember I told you in my previous video, what did I tell you? That you will be writing decimal first and 2 on the left and 0.5 on the right, and then the meters, and after that you will add. So when we add, so we will give respect to the decimal. So give respect to the decimal means put the decimal first, and at the same time I want you to also give respect to the unit which is here, that is meter. So step 1 is you write the decimal and the unit first of all, and then only you move further. So once I do that, then I will start adding. So when I add, it becomes 0 plus 5, that is how much? 5, yes. And 2 plus 0 is 2. And why is this decimal vanishing every time? And 3 plus 2 is 5. So my answer is 5.25 meters. So total length of the cloth bought by Narseen is 5.25 meters. Actually, this is simple. So children, let's read the question first. It says Ravi purchased 8.5 kg and 400 grams rice and 200 kilogram and 20 gram sugar and 10 kilogram and 850 gram flour. Find the total weight of his purchases. So clearly, like I told you, to make a statement some easy, we don't read the dimensions and we'll say something or this much, and then try reading the question. The question becomes very easy. So I would say Ravi purchased this much rice. So let me just draw this much rice here. Let's say this much rice he purchased, and then he purchased this much sugar. Okay. After that he purchased this much, let's say flour. So now you want to find the total. So total will be, how will you get the total? By adding all these three. So I would add all these three to get the total. Easy. So this is the first thing, that every time you get a question, when you start thinking or reading a question without the numbers, it becomes very easy. Okay. Now the second thing I want to teach you is that now in this we will be, after this, converting it. The units here which are given without a decimal, will convert these numbers into decimal. You all have learned how to do that, and then solve the question. So let's go to the next screen to solve it. So children, the first thing you have to do is you have to write the statements for the question, because this is a statement sum. So we would say Ravi's purchases, and you will write weight of rice because it's about rice, and weight of sugar, weight of flour. So these three things you will be writing, and you will also be writing that it is 5 kg and 400 grams, 2 kg and 20 grams, and 10 kg and 850 grams. So this thing is clear. Now after that I will be converting these numbers into decimals. So and remember, what did I tell you? I told you that there are two parts of it, and one is the whole number side of a decimal and one is the decimal side of a decimal. So I will be first making that decimal here. So always the greater unit. Now you have a kilogram here and a gram here. So which is the greater unit here? Yes, the greater unit is 5. So that means your first number will be 5, and after that you will put a decimal. Right? After decimal, you will be writing the decimal places, and I gave you the trick that the number of places after the decimal come according to the relation. So it is important that we should know what is the relation between 1 kg. So how much is 1 kg equal to in terms of grams? So 1 kg is equal to 1000 grams. Right, children? So how many zeros are there? There are 3 zeros. If there are 3 zeros, so that means there will be 3 places after the decimal. Clear? So now you look at it, it is 400 grams. So I will be start writing here from the last digit, that is 0. Then we will start from right. Okay, 0, 0, 4, And after that, I will write here as the unit, and the unit will be kilograms. Let me just write it neatly. Erase it and write it neatly. So on the space is less, so I'll take the other pen and write here kg. Have you learned how to convert? Okay, now let me convert the second one, and I'm sure you know this now. So it is 2 kg. That means clearly my whole number will be 2 because it's a greater unit, and I'll put a decimal there. And after that, I will be making places for the grams. So how many zeros are there? 3. So I'll put 3 dashes there, 1, 2, 3, and write 20. So you can write here from the right, you can write 20, or if you want to write, you can write 0 and then 2. After that, you see that there is one place where there is no digit. What will you do? I'll put a 0 there. And after that, it is important to write the unit. And which unit will come? The greater or the smaller? Yes, the greater unit will come. Right here, kg. Okay, now let me convert the third one, and I'm sure you will do it yourself. So I'm just writing the answer because you have learned it. So let's do it together. It will be 10 point, and there are 3 digits. So that means I can straight away write 850, and I have to write the unit, and the unit here is kg. So now I have clearly converted all these into decimals. Now I will be writing these in the vertical forms. So here on this side, I'll be writing in the vertical form. So can you see 5.40 kg, and 2.020 kg, and 10.850 kg. Let's add. And what was the trick that I gave you for adding? Do you remember? Yes, respecting the decimal. So let me respect the decimal, and let me respect the unit also here. So I have written the unit here, kg. So the first thing you do is when you add decimals, because you can do this later also, but then I've seen children forgetting it. After they add and all, they forget to write a unit. So let's develop a habit of doing it before. So first thing I'll do is I'll put my decimal there, and then after that only I'll start adding. So when I add, so 0 plus 0 plus 0 is how much? 0. Then 0 plus 2 plus 5 is 7. And after that it comes 4 plus 8 is 12. And where is my decimal vanishing? I don't understand. So my 1 gets forward, then 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 and 2 is 8. I will write here 8. And then there's no carry forward, so only 1. So my answer is 18.270 kilograms of the total purchases Ravi has done. Right? Quite heavy for him to carry, isn't it? So children, I hope you enjoyed the video and you learned these new tricks and how you can make the statement sums very easy. I've seen some children find statement sums difficult, so I've given you some easy ways to solve it. With this is Namita Malhotra, and bye-bye.